Contest to speed.
Contest of 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 speed.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Contest of Speed Season 15. We're here for the penultimate round in Great Britain. Silverstone, we've got 18 turns, 2 DRS zones to tackle tonight, and what is surely to be an exciting start to the end of the season, I guess you could say. Back here again, as mentioned, on Contest of Speed, I'm joined by Sean Boy in the booth. My name is BK. How are we doing, Sean Boy?
I am doing great. Excited to be back in the booth for another week, watching some amazing drivers rip around one of the most iconic tracks in Formula One.
Yeah, what used to be a Air Force base back in the day in Grand Bretagne, as the French say. It is now a world-renowned racetrack, Silverstone. One of the well, I mean, it's got some mixed opinions, but I would say more fans than not of this track. But before we get to tonight and qualifying, we ought to look through the standings because it is getting mighty close as we go into the final few rounds here. Drivers' Championship is still up for grabs, but it is going to be a bit of a challenge for the drivers who are on the outside looking in. So you can see Orlando has the lead of the championship, 164 points. Speedy Bullet's the closest behind with 146. All he's got to do tonight is outscore Speedy Bullet by 7 points, and this championship is his. Speedy Bullet still can claw back, as well as M1K. I don't think that they're mathematically out of this, but Orlando's got to have a couple bad weeks for that to happen, and he is usually pretty solid. So M1K an outside shout for the championship at this point. Speedy Bullet is main contender, but I think he's got almost one hand on the trophy at this point. What do you think, Sean Boy?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for anyone to come back. I mean, I guess there's really only one man left to come back, but yeah, it's gonna be a battle if he can.
And moving on to the constructors now, this is where it gets a little more interesting because it's the other way around. It's McLaren, Sauber in the drivers. It is Sauber, McLaren in the constructors. And an 11-point gap between those top two teams. Sauber obviously getting a mighty 10-point gain last week, which is huge by the standards of the state of the season and all that. But, you know, Sauber are on the front foot there, 9 points ahead of McLaren, and Haas looks like they've got third, just about settled now after a couple weeks not scoring as many points. M1K not there last week to help out Red Arrow, but with that all out of the way, let's turn our eyes now to some on-track action. We can see Mick Ribb has been tearing it up around here, Silverstone in the V-Carb, and now he's heading into this X section at the end of Sector 2. Turns 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14 all come at you very quickly here, and then it's foot to the floor, down the DRS straight we go. And you can see a Williams kind of pulling off to the side there. Hopefully they see Mick Ribb coming. They pull off the racing line again to let that driver by. And he's off. Mick Ribb, a couple drivers ahead of him. Sole flat top his teammate, setting the fastest lap of 1:28.631. It's a pretty fast lap, but quickly gets eclipsed by the Aston Martin 1:28.459 and a 1:27.928. McRib himself finds himself at the 1:29.250, and then there's M1K. Once in this season was a championship leader, he finds himself on provisional pole, 8 tenths clear of the closest drivers. See if we can find anyone else on a lap at this point. I believe Chipman, one of the McLaren drivers, who is in question for tonight, very much involved in that championship battle and was last week in Singapore. Looking to have a good night tonight, and Chipman starts it off pretty well with a third place in provisional qualifying order as it stands. Let's see, boy, who you got your eyes on right now?
I mean, hard not to always be watching Orlando. Obviously,
Orlando on his out lap. Yeah, TK
obviously, yeah,
Nortex, that's a pretty decent lap there as well. Oh, that was actually Meta Kestrel. I think that jumped ahead of Chipman. Couple drivers yet to set laps. Let's jump on board with ASAP Loggy now. It's coming down that hanger straight that we mentioned before. Brings it down to fourth gear. Nice and easy on the curbs. And through a slower part of the track now, the final few corners. Getting a little tire smoke off that inside front there as he slowed the car down, but hard to tell if that's a visual thing or actually happening in the car, and ASAP Loggy does go in the top 10 with that lap for the Williams. All right, Orlando looks to have just started his first flying lap. Let's jump on board with the championship leader to watch his qualifying lap here. His first banker lap. See him going through turns 3 and 4 here, I believe. That's how numbers work.
usually how they work.
Yep. Usually count upwards, unless I don't know. I was gonna say unless you're in golf, but that's negative numbers that you want to be able to score.
Yeah.
That's completely different. But Orlando setting a purple first sector. It looks like yellow sector on his timing, but the track map saying it was purple. The telemetry in F124 are conflicting with itself right now, but here comes Orlando now. Pretty tidy through there. And let's take a look from off board here as he flies through the fastest part of this track. Very tidy, keeps it within track limits.
Very clean through there.
And I have, oh, we have no game audio, huh? There we go, that should be better.
Boys can hear that beautiful roar of the V6.
Test, test. There we go. Definitely want to have the game audio in here. But Orlando goes P4 with that lap. Just ahead of his teammate, 127.448. You can just see how evenly matched they are, and I think if Chipman had a bit more luck, he would be right up there with Orlando in terms of the driver championship. Look at that, and he just gets ahead of him again. Assuming on the same tire, going for another lap there after cooling them down. Just make sure here. Alrighty. DZG Speedy is another driver that we got to keep our eyes on. He is second in the drivers right now. He's on his flying lap. Let's see what the Sauber can do. Kind of catching everybody near the same point. I think this is Hops, if I'm not mistaken, and then Beckett's. Some of the drivers' favorites in real life. They all talk about these corners and the speed that you can take through them. Just unbelievable. See, Speedy Bullet really rang in the neck of that Sauber through those turns there. Now into Stowe. I don't know. Someone's gonna correct me, and I think this is Club. This is the final chicane. I don't really. Just guessing here, just off memory. I don't really remember. We can turn on the turn overlay and just see how I did there.
So I know very few, so you got me beat just by those couple you said.
Yeah, let's see. Where's turns? Turns. There we go. Farm and Village at the start of the lap, okay. But Speedy is P6 with his flying lap there. I'm going to be looking for a little bit more. I mean, he does have his teammate who he's worked really well with so far this season up at P2. And M1K is on his out lap as well. So is Meta Kestrel. He's he's another driver who can just sneak up into those top few positions just out of the blue. Wondering if he can sneak up into the top position tonight. It's been a while since we've had a new winner the first few races of the season, and it's just being traded around there, going around everybody. But now, quite difficult for a new driver to find a win. The top 6 or so have settled themselves into the championship, so to speak.
They've kind of cleaned house.
Usually what you'll see is a few drivers taking the wins, but the start of the season had me very hopeful that we were in for. So is it the hanger straight, then it's Vale. Okay. Okay, nerd. Red Devil in the chat, thanks, buddy. Just kidding. Appreciate it, dude. Good to see you in the chat. But here comes Meta on his outlap. We've also got DK and M1K, who I think are also on flyers ahead of him. So let's jump on board with M1K and see how he's doing here in the provisional pole position. Looking to ruffle some feathers tonight in the championship battle. Mind you, these guys that they're out of it, it's gloves off for them. Who knows, especially if, oh, Hysteria. Speaking of people coming out of the blue, pole position for the Aston Martin. Jump back to M1K. Yeah, what a lap. 127.105 for the Aston. That'd surely be his best starting position. And M1K doesn't surpass Hysteria's lap time there. 173 for M1K. Back to DK Nortec here. See if he can say something about that Aston Martin's lap time, but what a lap there for Hysteria in the Aston. Getting down there very close to the 27.0, 26.9 mark. See if we can surpass that. There is a prediction, I think, that should still be up if you want to get some cost points on the line tonight. You certainly can. DK Nortec improved his lap time, but not enough to beat those ahead of him. Let's go back now to Metacastrol. At the end of the hanger straight, prediction is closed. Appreciate that, brother. Yeah. Well, there's a few tenths to find here. I think it was a 26.8, 3 tenths to find. They're not far off that. We could see the under. 26.865, I think. So really, pretty close, 2.5 tenths.
It's possible.
It is completely possible. Yeah. Sweens is out on track as well. Beloved AM1 co-commentator. See if he has anything to do on this lap. Oh my goodness. He was recharging and he decided that the grass was the optimal line to get that battery back up recharged. Playing 4 chess out there. Red arrow.
That's what you gotta do, I guess, right?
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Coming down to 5 minutes left in qualifying. Now we got Red Arrow coming through the cops. He's on a personal best first sector as it stands. Another personal best sector is 6 tenths off the mark of Hysteria at this moment. So he's not threatening for pole, but maybe if he finds a little bit of time here, he can jump up a position or two. But that top 7, pretty tightly packed, but has to find a little more lap time to be able to crack into that. And Red Arrow stays P8 with that lap. Not bad, but like I said, those top few drivers are very close together. Just needs a bit more lap time, and he can find maybe 2-3 positions.
Yeah, that's all it's gonna take. A 10th could gain you 2-3 spots here.
100%, yeah, it's easy enough to find a couple positions with how tightly packed that top 7 is. Look at that, I think it's 4 tenths between P1 to P7. So if you hook it up, then it's easy enough to lose a bit of lap time here if you just don't take it right. It's such a fast lap that you mess up one corner, especially in this section, it kind of sets you up for the rest. That once you're offline, it's hard to find that lap time again. But we'll see. Orlando now, I think he's starting a flyer. Let's jump on board with the McLaren driver sure the Orlando fan club is full force tonight to see their man potentially clinch the championship. He's only got to outscore the Sauber of ZZG Speedy by 7 points, and that's his. So Speedy's got his work cut out for him. There is theoretically still another driver, M1K, in the championship, but he is definitely on the outside looking, and he needs a miracle, to say the least. And Orlando starting this night off very well. Back out of this one, it looks like. It's completely off the throttle, despite being only a 10th off pole position there through the first sector. I think he's completely bailed out of this one. Let's see, McRib also on a lap himself. Only 16 drivers tonight, as was noted by a couple of the full-time drivers. All the reserves were very eager at the start of the season when all the full-time drivers were showing up all the time, and now a couple of full-time drivers are not able to make it, and we've got no reserves to, or seemingly no willing reserves. So that being said, shameless plug, if you're interested in joining the action here, we've got one more race left in the season, and then we're going on into a new one. You guys will be able to see the spicy season 16 trailer tonight. We premiered it a couple nights ago, or last night I guess. But if you haven't seen it, it's going to be on the stream at some point today. And yeah, season 16 around the corner. Crazy, Sean Boy. Season 16, I mean, it feels like just yesterday we joined and it was season 9.
I know, it does not feel like it was that long ago. Boys were just getting into this.
But here we are, season 16 on the broadcast booth at AM2, round 11. And yeah, that's a lot of seasons that we've been here, I guess. Almost more seasons than we haven't been here.
Almost, we're getting there.
Yeah. Orlando's cooking right now. He's on a pretty decent lap, it looks like. 2 green sectors. Coming around the final tricky part of the track, and honestly, the chicane too hard, but the exit out of the right-hander I find I have the most trouble with, as I'm trying to squeeze every last bit of lap time as I can, but Orlando takes it very nicely there, and he is just shy of pole position, half a 10th off. And he's got not too much time left. Honestly, that's going to be his last lap. Everybody's coming around now to set their final laps. Only 20 seconds left in qualifying, and I think we're seeing some teamwork here from the Saubers. DK Nortec in front, pulling along Speedy behind him. And are these guys orchestrating a tow, or is he just doing a full lap together to pull each other along? I've seen this strategy before from none other than Red Devil and Pucks F1, former AM1 teammates, but haven't seen anybody else try to do the full lap tow. Is this going to benefit the man who's down in P7 now? The man he's chasing for the championship tonight is in P2. He needs to have a pretty decent improvement here. He has 2 green sectors. Is Speedy gonna jump up the order to be able to challenge Orlando in the early stages of this race? He is! Pole position there at the last second from Speedy. It's a 27-0, and that tow could have been the difference there for the Sauber. DK Nortec pulling out all the stops as he has been all season, working extremely well. And that's not to say that the McLarens haven't worked well together. I believe that it's very fitting that these are the top 2 teams of the season. They are probably the quickest combinations, and also they work the best together. They seem to be pulling each other along, picking each other up when they need to, and yeah, that brings Speedy into the fight for not only the drivers but also the constructors. DK Nortec is ahead of Chipman as well in that order. So a bit of pressure on McLaren here to start out the night. Speedy, he needs to win the race if Orlando is going to be on the podium. Oh my God!
Meta Kestrel. Wow.
What the heck? Last minute! I thought Speedy was on the limit there for pushing it to the last second, but Meta Kestrel,
Oh,
when
wow.
everybody thought qualifying was over, he comes out and he actually beats the prediction time.
I was say, did that hit the under?
That hits the under with that final lap time there for Meta Kestrel. 126.793. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. What a finish. I apologize to Meta Kestrel. I thought everybody was done. But the Williams driver, as we were praising ZZG Speedy and the Saubers for having some pretty good teamwork and putting some pressure on McLaren, look at this. Meta Kestrel taking a pole position here tonight. And that opens it wide up for the race. Take a look at your top 10 for qualifying tonight. We got Meta Kestrel on pole position, stealing that one away from CGG Speedy right at the end. CGG Speedy on P2, Hysteria P3. Very good qualifying for him as well. We got two names in the top 3 that we're not used to seeing tonight. It's going to be an exciting race, to say the least, but we got Orlando P4, M1K P5, DK Nortec P6, Chipman P7, Red Arrow P8, ASAP Loggy P9, and Witch P10. That is your qualifying order for tonight. We're going to get guys ready to go for the race here, but we'll see you guys back when we're on the grid.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of
The
speed.
contest of speed.
Welcome back, everybody, to Contest of Speed. We're just getting ready here for the start of the AM2 Grand Prix, and as I say that, perfect timing. Lights are getting ready to go on here, and here we go. Lights out, and away we go for the Great Britain Grand Prix, the Silverstone race. And look at that, Meta Kestrel getting off decent start there. He's already pulled away on the soft tires. DZ Speedy in P2, and Hysteria's giving up P3 to Orlando on the inside. Turn 3. Going 2-3 wide in some cases, Chipman, M1K, and looks like DK Nortec losing out a couple positions there, had to back out. That's got ASAP Loggy ahead of him here into the top 7.
A lot of bumping and grinding, but no one off yet.
A little bit of bumping. We got some side-by-side action. M1K trying to fend off Chipman here as we go into Cop's corner. They've got some wheel-to-wheel action going on here. Oh, bump it going into that dirt, and we're going full side-by-side in lap 1. Chipman looking to extend that track just a bit, but M1K holds off that position for now. Look how much ground they've lost there just from that little battle right there. And Kestrel doing very well through those first segments of this first lap. Hold off the competition. Orlando right behind ZZG Speedy now. And the gap is 18 points. Orlando leads against ZZG Speedy, so any kind of points that he can pull in against Orlando tonight is going to help him for the next race, but he definitely needs to outscore that McLaren. He cannot afford to lose any points. So he's going to be looking at needing a DNF out of Orlando, and that's never good to be hoping for that. Orlando, always a pretty solid driver, has very consistent this season. That's gone up into that conversation for the championship. ASAP Loggy now got through DK Nortec. and Chipman dropped behind DK Nortec as well. So ASAP Loggy going into P5. And what is Williams cooking tonight? Got a rapid setup around here that he shared with his teammate because ASAP Loggy doing very well for his own as well here. The soft tires as well could be a bit of a difference. M1K, you notice there, on the hard compact tire, while ASAP Loggy's on the softs. DK Nortec's on the mediums behind. And this varying tire strategies. How is this all going to pan out here throughout this race?
Yeah, you rarely see a soft tire to start the race here. Or no, I guess not here, but in general in Formula 1.
DK Nortec looking on the inside of M1K now. Oh, he's also looking on the inside of ASAP Loggy, and that causes a bit of contact. Oh my goodness, he's dropped up a few positions now. Let's get a clip of that so we can check the replay later. But DK Nortec potentially looking for overtake of the year, but was that a bit too overzealous trying to get 2 and 1 into that corner?
Maybe a little bit. It's not an easy corner to get one person, let alone two.
Be some wheel-to-wheel action going on in the back of the pack here. Mr. Bo and Soul Flat Top side by side coming out of the final corner. Settled down now though into their positions. Orlando has the fastest lap right now. He is pressuring Speedy. He's chasing down Metakestrel. These guys doing pretty well to keep up with those soft tires. And Asteria also hanging on the back of these guys. Remember, he did start this race in P3. Lost the position Orlando off the line. Interestingly now, with those soft tires, not able to hold on to the position against the mediums. We're now first time this race with Orlando going through the S turns. He's got DRS to his name now. He's got a great view of Speedy, who actually took those turns a little bit better than he did there. Or he's got a little bit more straight line speed set up. Speedy looking to go around the outside. Metakestrel holds the inside line. Just a bit ahead out of the exit of that corner. But Metakestrel's not done fighting this one off yet. He's got the inside for the final corner, and he swoops back ahead with the switchback. Bit of contact there between Speedy Bullet and Metakestrel, front wing to rear diffuser. I don't think there's any damage there for Speedy Bullet. Come back here. M1K is also very close to Chipman. He's on the hard tires, and our pit lane reporter Red Devil advising us that the hard tires are not the way to go around here. So is this going to be a long race for the Haas driver? Both Haas drivers actually on the hard tires, so they obviously think that that's the way to go. Asteria thinks softs are the way to go, and look at how well he's doing, keeping up with Orlando, pressuring these guys who are the 2 leaders in the championship. These guys obviously not wanting to interfere with this battle, but also racing their own race, trying to get a win at this point. Like I said earlier, not many drivers have had that opportunity to stand on that top 7 podium since the midpoint of the season. It's been the same drivers since then, but could it be different tonight here in Silverstone? I know, Tromboy, when we used to race these tracks, it's always a little bit of a, obviously you like racing these tracks, but it's almost a little bit of a disadvantage because people like these ones so much that they're so fast at them, and it's harder to compete at these ones.
Yeah, people spend a lot of time driving around here in time trial versus Singapore or somewhere that you're going to crash a lot.
We've got to fight for the lead now, going in the final corner. Speedy trying the inside line this time. Is he going to have the traction out into the final corner there to pull alongside? No, he's not. See, maybe those soft tires starting to fall off now already. 5 laps in. Crossover starting to hit that Williams driver, and before it's too late, we may as well take a look at the replay that we had earlier between DK Nortec and I think it was M1K and ASAP Loggy, just kind of breaking himself in a stow. Or did ASAP Loggy not quite see him there? I don't know. Hard to judge.
There, you got a little loose there.
Who did?
Hysteria got a little loose.
A
lost out on the DRS train. He's gonna have to put some work through Megaton Beckett's to get that back.
Yeah, he is gonna have to. The detection point is sadly before that point though, so he's not gonna have it on this straight. Even if and he did catch up.
Yeah, so
Rear
he
wing
did
is
catch
not
him,
open.
but yeah.
But Speedy has the inside line now for Stowe, and Meta Kestrel gets all out of shape there, trying to hold on the outside line, losing the back end a little bit. And he loses 2 positions in one corner. Both the championship leaders going through. And if these positions were to swap, that would be enough for Orlando to claim championship tonight. So Speedy Bullet, the last line of defense now against Orlando, trying to prevent him from getting that championship. But Orlando is looking mighty racy now, just biding his time. Or will we see Speedy Bullet unleash his pace here? It's going to be hard to take off in the distance. Around this track, DRS, very powerful around here.
Yeah, we could see these guys fight right down the final laps here out front.
No, in that case, it's so important for these 2 drivers just to keep it clean. You know what's at stake if any sort of incident were to occur and lose positions. Almost championship deciding in some ways. Here we go, 4 cars, the top 4 on your screen, all going down the hangar straight now. And this is going to be the first time that Speedy Bullet has to defend without DRS, and that's going to be an easy pass for Orlando with that DRS assistance. Or is it he doesn't pull fully ahead going to the braking zone? But yes, it is. He's going to have to tuck behind now. Or is he Speedy Bullet not like a dog with a bone, not willing to give this one up? He's on the inside. He's got the shorter line. Is he going to be able to get the traction down? Not this time, but he's, you know, this is honestly pretty smart from Speedy. He's inviting Meta Kestrel back in that fight. He wants as many cars in here as possible with an opportunity, and keeping those guys behind him within the shout for the race lead is going to help them when it comes to their undercut and their pit strategy. They're going to get that undercut no matter what, starting on the softs compared to the mediums. And is that going to come back into play later on in the race to help Speedy? Within half a second now, equal tires for these top 2, and man, it's just so well set up for us to enjoy. Don't want to switch off anybody else because this is the fight for the championship right here. After 10 long rounds, we've got these 2 drivers, and look at that, Meta Kestrel pulls alongside and ahead going into the S-turns. Megaton and Beckett's, that's a Williams driver, making a position that's going to hurt Speedy so much. Now, we were talking about how this could potentially help Speedy. Now, this is what he doesn't want. He does not want any cars between him and Orlando. And Orlando, this is exactly what he wants. And he is absolutely loving this moment right now. Seeing his closest championship rival just a little bit further behind him now. He's got a Williams behind him. If they were to pass him, not the end of the world. But that's the gap that he wants. Orlando fan club has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. They've turned up now, almost as if on cue as he gets into the lead of the race.
They just know. They can sense it.
They can sense it, yeah. I got a feeling. DK Nortec and Chipman are also battling it out. Let's not ignore these 2 fighting it out. This is also the constructors' battle on the line. And so far, constructors battle going the way of McLaren tonight. They've both drivers found themselves ahead of a Sauber, respectively. One of them each. This Orlando's ahead of both of them. Chipman's ahead of 1. Oh, and speaking of Chipman, he just gets a 3-second penalty there. That is rather unfortunate. And what could that mean for the championship now? He's got DK Nortec tucked in right behind him. See the fight for the lead up ahead here. Is Meta Kestrel going to send it on Orlando? Yes, he is. Look at that. Just like that, Speedy is now right behind his main rival. And Meta Kestrel on those soft tires, 8 laps in, still putting in work.
Yeah, it's still cooking along. Can't imagine it'll last too much longer though.
No, I don't think those are gonna go to the end of the race, so to speak. But leading the race, 9 laps in on the soft tires, he is clearly going to be hurting a little bit more than the other drivers. In fact, take a look at it. Why don't we? He's not doing too bad. He's on 26% wear, so he's going to be starting to feel that that wear now. And all the other drivers in the low teens, mid-teens, on the mediums. Electric entree gets a 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. Oh no, that is a very, very slow pit lane, and he retires from the session. Unfortunate. For the Ferrari driver, only one here tonight. Rob's boy was out this one, but that's okay. He did his best.
Yeah, especially with the coda setup he accidentally put in.
Oh, he put in a coda setup. Oh no.
Yeah, I seen that in the chat earlier.
Man, that is not good. Pretty stable this race so far. Most positions gained is 2 positions. Most positions lost is 3. So pretty kind of remaining status quo here. And this is Hysteria looking on the inside. A speedy bullet there in the background. Nope, not this time. Not move. Oh man, sorry, Entree. That's unfortunate. Witchay's left the session. Oh, can you get our boy Witchay back in? Appreciate you. Get back to M1K here on the Helicam, looking on the inside of ASAP Vloggy. Oh, ASAP Vloggy carries a lot of speed around the outside there, but not quite enough. M1K just inches ahead there. Brilliant stuff. M1K looking to fight back here. You can see DK Nortec and Chipman ahead. That's typically a good thing, but we've got a couple other drivers throwing a fork in things tonight. Meta Kestrel and Hysteria, not typically at the sharp end of the field, or at least this sharp of the end. And here we are, top 4 between the 2 of them. Meta Kestrel may potentially be losing this position on the straight, or does he have the straight line speed with that setup? I think he does.
That is a very quick setup.
That must be a pretty quick setup in the straight line, because he was only 2/10 ahead of Orlando going down that straight, and either he's saved enough battery to deploy it when he needs it, or that thing is an absolute rocket ship in the straight. Meanwhile, Orlando has to close back in those 2/10 that we were talking about. Oh, what Jay's saying, he needs another if you can toss him another one.
Yeah, doing that at his feet.
We're on it with Jay.
Send him a couple here.
He's in it, he's in.
Oh, let's go.
Ooh, beautiful camera angle on the boom. Watching Orlando throw it into that corner there. And then Chipman chopping back down to 1.7 seconds behind this front leading pack, and this could get really spicy if he drags along DK Nortec and M1K, who has kind of found a way to fire those hard tires up at this stage of the race. He's doing well for himself. He's going to prove Red Devil wrong tonight with that hard tire strategy. I don't know. Look at this, M1K in the front of your shot there. He still has enough top speed to hold off the McLaren behind him going into the braking zone. And we've got our first pit stop coming in. Hysteria makes the call, slows the car down. Very slow pit lane here. It's not one that you want to be going for a 2-stop on. Just how much time you lose in the pits. You want just 1 stop, and this is going to be it for him. Approaching the Aston Martin pit crew. They receive him nicely. Got another one in the pits. ASAP Loggy, Mr. Bo, So Flat Top, all also coming into the pits. A couple pit stops happening here for the soft runners. Metakestrel opting to stay out. And is that going to play into the hands of Hysteria now? He is on the medium tire. Orlando just making a little move there. 9 games are starting. We're 12 laps into this 26 lap race. Race that could decide the championship, I believe. Not the, well, it could decide the constructors, but it's going to be very difficult to do that. It could very well decide the drivers, though. Tonight we've got Orlando in P1 in the drivers, ZZ Speedy in P2 in the drivers. Those guys are in the top three right now, chasing down Metakestrel, a new character here in this top fight. He's had a couple podiums this season, but hasn't really had a good chance at a win, and this may be Orlando's best chance to get past him. I believe a pit stop is due for the Williams driver, so he's not going to fight that one too hard. Not to lose too much time, because he knows he's going in. There he dives into the pits there. And that's going to leave Speedy Bullet and Orlando all to themselves now on track. And is this undercut going to come into play? Oh no, DK Nortec with a 10-second speeding penalty. That is going to hurt him dearly come the end of this race, I fear, with the, like I mentioned before, the constructors on the line. Let's jump back to Hysteria now, who's coming through the final few corners. Remember, he was in the fight for the top 4 positions with Metakestrel, who is in the pit lane right now. Here's Hysteria coming through the final corner. See the blue dot coming out of the pit lane now, just getting the throttle down. There he is ahead. Metakestrel managing to do the overcut there, so staying out 1 lap extra did not hurt him too much there. He's in P7, but all the drivers ahead yet to pit, and it is, as you say, hammer time now for those 2 drivers. They need to get power down and absolutely set some flying laps right now to make this undercut work against Orlando and CCG Speedy, who are going to be pushing themselves, because they know this is the time to use what they've got left of that tire.
I'm guessing they're both probably gonna try and push it out for softs, eh? You think? Or you think they're gonna go to hard, stand it?
I think that's the play, but considering that the softs did make it 13 laps for Metakestrel, that pit stop could come at any point here. I think they're going to try to buy as much time as they can on these mediums just to have the best soft stint that they can. And I'm honestly a little bit surprised that they waited this long, soft runners, to call that pit stop, but soft medium, if it is the strategy here, I'm assuming that they are quite robust.
It'd be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple laps.
Yep. M1K and Chipman now 2.9 behind the leading pack. M1K is going to make the overtake down the straight on the hard tires. He's got 2.8 seconds to catch before the pit stop sequence to make this strategy work on the hard tire. DK Nortec taking another pit stop, it looks like. He's going to stop for his full 10-second penalty here. Oh man, this could turn the constructors on its head. Remember, there was only 10 points gap for Sauber to the lead, and now they've got to, for sure, 1 driver out of the points tonight. It looks like it's going to be a very tough ask for DK Nortec to pull out the stops tonight. That being said, everybody ahead, I believe, has to pit. Most drivers ahead have to pit. And here we go, top 2 diving into the pit lane. Lap 14 of 26. Gonna be coming out on the stops on lap 15.
12 lap stint, definitely doable.
Where?
As earlier.
Yeah. Where does this put Metakestrel here? He's admittedly quite a bit closer than Hysteria was to Metakestrel when he was coming through for the overcut. Here we go. Down the main straight we go. Both the drivers are back into the fast lane, but that is going to be the undercut done for Metakestrel. He's on the medium tires, whereas Orlando and ZZG Speedy are on the softs. And crucially, look at this. Speedy Bullet has a bit more traffic ahead of him. Actually, say a bit more traffic. It's just a ghost of Witchay at this moment in time who is needs another invite, it looks like. But that gap is pretty big. I mean, 1.8 seconds or so to Orlando right now. And if Orlando can make a couple overtakes, it's just going to make it even harder for ZZG Speedy catch up to him. Oh, on the inside of the robot. I forgot he was ghosted for a second. It freaked me out. Hysteria. I believe he has that McLaren for company behind him now on the soft tires. And what kind of pace is Metakeshel gonna have against Orlando? We saw Metakeshel doing very well to hang on to the soft tires and lead a good portion of that race on the old softs. Not gonna come back to haunt him now. As you can see, Orlando inching closer and closer and closer on the hanger straight, not close enough to make the move. You can see Metakeshel there ahead in your shot. A little bit of a lock up there from one of Hysteria or Orlando. Chipman's now in the pits. Getting some service done by McLaren. 2.2 second pit stop. You can see the leaders passing by now on your right. Or the provisional leaders. Red Arrow and M1K yet to stop. But I would assume that would be coming pretty soon here. Speedy is begging and pleading for Hysteria to hold up Orlando as long as he can. But Orlando's pulling to the inside. Hysteria's trying to hang it all the way around the outside the long way. Doesn't manage to get that one done. Speedy has another car between him and his championship rival. Oh, that sucks, Witchay. Doing pretty well here to hang on to the back of Orlando. Has not cracked in a DRS, so will Hysteria try to take this position back now? Saving the battery, saving the battery. Doesn't look like Hysteria has used enough to pull alongside. He is okay with hanging out behind him now. Keep playing the long game, trying to get some tire life towards the end to make the move. To control, but the AI is still driving. What is the AI level set at? It should be 80. Orlando setting the fastest lap of the race. He has closed the DRS detection of Metakeshel. Has a couple corners actually to close in half a tenth here. He does after the detection. Notice that's just before turn 3. Don't think that he's gonna have a run here. No, he does not have the DRS. Witchay has retired from the session. Either his AI did or he himself did. He's having some issues there. Speedy on the soft tire. He's got 1.5 seconds to close in to Hysteria, who is admittedly losing the back of the McLaren ahead. We may see a change of the lead here. Metakeshel, who made that undercut work on the medium tires, now does not have the same performance as Orlando does, but the longer he can keep him behind, the closer he will be to that crossover, and you can see him already trying to break the toe behind. I think he has that straight speed that we were talking about earlier to hold off that position for another lap. And yeah, I'm wondering if the softs are going to wear off enough come the end of this stint to make the mediums viable.
I honestly don't think so. It really didn't look like Meta's softs were hurt at all by the end. He's still holding his own very well.
Yep. I think the undercut was just too late. We needed to do it a little bit earlier, considering how much those medium tires are holding up. He's under pressure now. Going in the middle of the road. Back to the right. Orlando slings into the lead of the race with just under 10 laps to go now. 8 laps or 9 laps. ZZG Speedy has closed the DRS range on Hysteria ahead, but he has got a lot of work to do now. All he can hope for is a battle between the top two to slow down their pace a little bit. Looks like Meta Kestrel is very quick tonight, especially in the straight. So when he has the DRS advantage here, I'm sure he's going to absolutely fly past Orlando and reignite this battle. See him tucked right in the slipstream, pulls ahead with the DRS. And yeah, we've got a fight for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, Chipman has that 3-second penalty. DK Nortec has fallen out of the points, unfortunately, with a 10-second time penalty. So it is going to be a swing in the points in constructors, it looks like, tonight. Could it be also a decisive night in the drivers for Orlando? He is in P2 right now. Definitely has enough of a gap, I think. Look at that, fastest lap being changed all around. Chipman picked it up. M1K picked it up. I think 7 points in the gap. So Orlando would be getting 18 in P2. It's 15 for P3. And it is 12. So it actually wouldn't be enough, depending on who had the fastest lap.
Yeah, I believe M1K sits with the fastest lap currently, so it will be all or nothing for Speedy next race.
Yep. Orlando would definitely have one hand firmly on the trophy if things were to stay the same. Go through Megan's Pegasus one more time, and look at this, Hysteria has joined the fight yet again. He was losing the back end of Orlando, but he is tucked in right behind the McLaren now. Doesn't have the slipstream. Beautiful views from on board this acid Martin machine. He's going to try to send one on Meta Kestrel too. I think he is. No, he backs out of it. Leaves racing room for Meta Kestrel ahead. But that did compromise his line because Meta Kestrel did initially leave him the space. Orlando has checked out a little bit. 7/10 is the gap. ZZG Speedy is joined into this DRS train, but the fact that everybody has DRS on each other hasn't made it easy for him to make any inroads.
And not easy to pass anyone when you're stuck in the DRS train, especially with a couple cars in front that obviously have pretty low downforce setups on.
M1K good company here. Any extra positions, any extra points that he can gain at this point will definitely help McLaren's bid for the constructors. And we could be basically almost level points going into the final race for constructors, which is absolutely banana lands when you think about it. Two drivers over 12 races, their combined points across two teams adds up to the same amount. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, pretty much deadlocked. That's wild.
That's absolutely wild. Let's take a look now. Meta Kestrel with that straight speed, he is gonna pull ahead of Orlando yet again on lap 20. And this is definitely gonna be a tire wear game. How long are those softs gonna last for Orlando? Is he gonna have enough juice towards the end? Is ZG Speedy gonna be able to close in this gap? I mean, 1.3 seconds. He closed half a second in that corner. I don't know if he was just taking a nice slow entry to get a beautiful exit, but he's definitely got his work cut out for him. He needs to close in to Orlando ahead. And look at this. We got Hysteria and Orlando ahead, going wheel to wheel, and this is definitely going to help him. The gloves come off ahead. Look at that. He's closed in considerably now. Kestrel trying to break the toe. Going down the Hamilton straight into Luffield, I think, and then Brooklyn's. Boy, Hysteria getting a little sideways there. He's ghosted. That's going to give the position to Speedy, and that's exactly what he was needed at that moment. Clears a car relatively easily there thanks to a small mistake from Hysteria. But he needs to close in now to get into that DRS range and hope for a battle ahead, because it is looking rather grim here for the Sauber. Orlando having a great race, but he's fought his way back as Speedy. Look at that straight line speed for the Williams. Oh my god, even with DRS, Orlando cannot close in. Whether he's saving battery for another attempt, but interestingly enough, the Sauber losing a position to Hysteria. Claims that back after a little mistake. All this is just costing Speedy Bullet some time here. Orlando wins this race, he is the champion. No two ways about it.
Is that how it sits?
I think, unless Speedy gets second and fastest lap. Then he'll have a 1 point chance.
Yeah.
Orlando looking around the outside. Are those soft tires really have more grip still than the medium? Wow, able to choose his line more creatively there. Speedy here, currently in P4, but anything can happen here with a few laps to go. From the view of the Sauber, down the straight, see action ahead, just hoping for something to happen. Orlando pulls ahead, it looks like. Into Stowe. This has been some spectacular racing tonight, I have to say. Everybody's keeping it very clean and not causing too much chaos.
Very clean, but still 500 overtakes, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, the top 6 are now all within DRS of one another. So M1K, who I think is on the freshest soft tires, we haven't even mentioned him. He's joining the party here, and he's brought Chipman with him, who has that 3-second penalty, mind you. But another 2 cars joining the fight. Speedy Bullet will be just absolutely hoping to God that he can get past the car ahead of him here so he doesn't lose any more positions. But this could get a little bit crazy in the last few laps. M1K is looking rather speedy out there. Pardon the pun. He's going to be chasing down Speedy through the S-turns. Here we go, on board with the Haas driver. See that difference in grip, difference in confidence right now for M1K. He's going to have to get creative though. It's always nice to have that extra grip, but can't really overtake around the corners as easily. Makes it a little bit more difficult. M1K P5, Meta Kestrel jumps ahead to the lead again. M1K is trying to fight Speedy Bullet. Oh, they make a bit of contact there. M1K has to back out of that one. And Orlando now lap 24 of 26, just a few more laps to go to potentially clinch his championship. He's got a Williams in the way of it as it stands, but there are some other cars chasing down his main rival right now that could play a part in this decision tonight. Orlando is very close going down the Hamilton straight. Is he going to try to make a move here into left field? No, not this time. Oh my goodness, look at this top group. Top 6 after 24 laps, 11 rounds in, still all so close together, giving us an absolute spectacle to finish out this round 11 race. And what are we in for here? Speedy Bullet, is he just biding his time now to try to make a last lap overtake? M1K and Chipman just tucked in right behind him. I think we're going to see some fireworks here down this straight. Let's jump ahead to the leading pack. Meta Kestrel trying to defend P1, but Orlando inches ahead on the outside. Meta Kestrel breaks a little bit earlier, and that's going to be P1 for Orlando. Hysteria looking on the inside as well to follow the McLaren through into this final section of the racetrack. But Meta Kestrel's going to have the inside, and that is the position for him. A little bit of contact, and Hysteria loses the position again to Speedy. Oh my goodness, a little bit of a slide there for Hysteria. That's cost him a position. He's now under pressure for M1K, looking at Speedy Bullet ahead, and Meta Kestrel is in P2 after that little sequence there. So it's all about timing here. Does Meta Kestrel go for this? Looks like Orlando is really taken off here, but does Meta Kestrel go for this on this lap if he can, or does he wait to the final lap to try to make that overtake? All about timing, as we mentioned. You don't want to go for a move when it's not the ideal time. That being said, Meta Kestrel, if he doesn't get a move on, he's going to be under pressure from Speedy Bullet behind.
It is pretty much time to go flat out, I think.
Yeah, it's now or never, says Sean Boy. He thinks it's time to send it and defend like hell on the last lap. See, Meta Kestrel does close in within 3/10, and with that straight line speed setup, look at how quickly he gains, and he goes for that move right away, as per Sean Boy's advice on the pit wall. Takes that P1, and he's gonna try to lead and hang on to this on the last lap. And look at that, Speedy Bullet is in P3. It's all set up for fireworks on this final lap of the race here. We've driven 25 laps to get here. Potentially decide a champion for this season, but we're all going to find out on this lap. Does Speedy hang on for one more race? Does Orlando clinch his first driver's championship? Who knows? All time to find out now. We're approaching this first DRS straight where Orlando's going to have his first chance to overtake Meta Kestrel. Is he going to go for it early on? Is he going to go for it late? I think he's going to wait. Speedy Bullet is harvesting battery. He does have the DRS. Great view from the Sauber behind. Oh, he gets tagged! Oh. Big moment there. Looked like the Sauber got tagged from behind. And he's lost the back end of these two ahead. Now let's see what is going to happen going into the cops. Meta Kestrel still leads. Orlando tucked in right behind him, 0.2 of a second. It's all going to come down to the exit out of the S turns.
How fast Williams really is in a straight line.
Yeah, it's time to see how much battery he's got left in the tank. He was able to keep the position even with Orlando having DRS before. Is he going to be able to do it on the final lap when it's all at stake? Look at that in the background. TCG Speedy losing a position to M1K. Oh no. That's not going to clinch the championship, I don't think, at this point, unless Orlando can get the fastest lap on the final lap. But it's going to be Meta Kestrel claiming his first win of the season. We have a new winner, ladies and gentlemen, here in Silverstone. What a finish. M1K picks up a 3-second penalty right at the line. So that promotes Speedy up to P3 at the end of the day. The two championship contenders neck and neck right to the very finish. But Orlando does gain, I think that's going to be 3 points on Speedy. So Speedy having to outscore Orlando next week by 21 points if he wants to claim the championship, while Orlando just needs to finish ahead of Speedy, and it's all his. Wow. What a finish to that race we had there, Sean Boy. New winner.
What a race. Unbelievable.
Fantastic race here in Silverstone. That's why it's here for the second to last round of the season. We wanted some action here at this point, and yeah, we definitely got it with that race there. Top 6 all within DRS in those final few laps of the race. And yeah, had a new winner. Hysteria and Meta Kestrel also some shock finishes there, giving us a fantastic race here. Almost ready to close out the season, but on the penultimate round. What a fantastic race there. Sean Boy, do you have a driver of the day while we still have some time here?
No, I think you gotta give it to Meta Kestrel, for sure. Unbelievable performance by him.
Yeah, pretty nice race there, Meta Kestrel. You get Sean Boy's honorary driver of the day award. Take a look.
Yep, you should hold that with pride.
Hold that with pride. Kane lost positions. Meta Kestrel starting from pole, winning the race. Orlando making up 2 positions to finish ahead of his closest championship rival. And Speedy Bullet lost 1 position, but he still finished on the podium. Still giving himself a chance at next week, and also constructors. Definitely going McLaren's way tonight, so we're in for it next week. Let's see how much did McLaren score tonight. We'll check out after that after Meta Kestrel throws out some copies of F124 to the crowd and takes in his win. That is both Meta's and Williams' first win of the season. I believe that's Meta's first win in Contest of Speed as well. So maiden win here tonight on the penultimate round. Man, that's awesome. Feel like the season's really had it all for close battles and wins distributed across the board. But yeah, awesome to see Meta take his first win. Congratulations, sir. I'm sure we'll hear from him in the interview booth after the race. But let's take you through your top finishers tonight. We've got Meta Kestrel taking the P1, as we said, Orlando in P2, Speedy Bullet in P3, Asteria in P4 with his best finish of the season, M1K in P5, Chipman P6, Red Arrow P7, ASAP Loggy P8, Soul Flat Top in P9, and Sweens in P10, rounding out the points there. We'll take a moment to get as many drivers as we can into the podium booth. But for those of you that joined us tonight, you're going to have to say goodbye to Sean Boyd. He's going to be leaving us for the interviews, and that's the last race of the season for him. He won't be here next week. So everybody say goodbye, Sean Boyd, and just for me, thank you so much for joining me throughout this season and helping me out, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Sad that I have to go away for work next week, but hopefully you get to see an exciting race, and I'm sure I'll be watching from my hotel room.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens next week. Yeah. Thanks again, Sean Boyd, for joining me, and we'll see you guys in the interview booth. See you in a minute.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest of speed.
Contest of Speed.
Contest of speed.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest of 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 speed.
tough scenario for him. I'm sure he'll bounce back next week, but it's going to be all to play for next week. 2 points between the top 2 constructors. That's going to be 4 drivers going at it in the streets of Circuit the Americas. Hope you guys will all tune in for that one there, because it's not going to be one that you want to miss. As you heard, Tromboy very disappointed. He's not going to be able to join us for that one himself. But yeah, we've got a lot of action lined up for next week. And in terms of the driver standing, let's see, get these pulled up. There we go. Full screen. There we have them. Orlando is 21 points ahead of his closest rival, Speedy Bullet. And M1K has officially been eliminated from the championship fight, but still fighting for P3, and Speedy Bullet 21 points behind. So he's got a mountain to climb next week if he wants to take home that championship. Looks like Orlando is going to claim this championship this next week, but he still has to do the talking, has to finish the race, and the championship will be his. But that constructors still very much so up for grabs. I know all these drivers are going to be fighting extremely hard to win that. I know as prestigious as the drivers is, it's always very important for or at least it was important for myself to win the constructors when I was driving. So yeah, I'm sure we'll see some good action next week if you guys want to join us. Don't think anybody's going to be joining me tonight in the booth. I mean, I've been sitting here waiting for a good 5 minutes or so and just yapping the last few minutes. So yeah, that could be it for tonight. We'll wait maybe another minute or two, but yeah, I think the stage is set. We're in for a spicy finish to the season in terms of constructors. Gonna take a lot of drama to change over the drivers at this point, but Orlando having a very spectacular season. If I don't get the chance to say it next week, he's at a, I mean, should have taken a look at the results there, how many podiums he has and everything. But what a season for Orlando. Just absolutely not necessarily dominating. He had a couple races there where he dominated, but just always in that conversation every night. Didn't really have an off night ever. The only time he did was when the game glitched out for him. So yeah. What a season for McLaren. What a season for Sauber. And everybody here in AM2, congratulations again to Meta Kestrel on taking their maiden win tonight. That is freaking awesome. I mean, I remember racing against Meta in open lobbies ages ago and trying to convince him to join the league and do some racing. So it's amazing to see him get that first win, and being able to commentate on it is just an even bigger pleasure. So yeah, congratulations, Meta, and we'll see you all next week, I guess. Yeah, we'll leave you with that season 16 trailer. If you want to leave a like on YouTube, make sure to follow the stream, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week for the finale of season 15. Peace.
Welcome back to Contest to Speed.
Contest of 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 speed.